To Fridays Live. I'm delighted that you're going to be crafting with me today. Have a super fun Valentine project to share with you using the Love Notes Designer Series paper. And it's hard to believe. I feel like we just had Christmas, because we literally did just have Christmas a couple of weeks ago. And now it's time to start designing and making our Valentine's projects, whether you're going to send to a grandchild or making treats for your kids' classroom. This is going to be a fun project to make during today's live. As you hop on, say hello. Let me know who is joining me. If you stop by later on, no worries. Just give me a quick hello. And if you haven't joined me before, I'm Debra Harrison with Simply Sweet and Neat Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in San Antonio, Texas. And so I have this fun project to share with you today. But before we get into that, let me turn on the chat, make sure I can see your comments as you are visiting with me. I will try to check comments throughout today's live. Couple of quick things going on with Stampin' Up! As well as me. So I'm going to flip my camera over. Does it want to cooperate? There we go. There we go. All right. So as you may know, Stampin' Up! Started a new program called Product of the Month. And the January Product of the Month is the Fabulous Sayings stamp set. It is a great builder stamp set. And if you're not familiar with what a builder stamp set is, it's basically you take one of the sentiments and then you could say, hooray, happy birthday, or hello to a fabulous friend. So you can take one part of the sentiment and then add another, or you can just use them as single sentiments. I personally always love having several good sentiment sets in my stash to be able to use for a project. So this one, you can get the product of the month. It is while supplies last. You can earn this and pay $5 with your order of $75 or more. So it is while supplies last. So if you see it and you want it, you better grab it fast and make sure that when you do qualify, there is a little tracker bar at the top of your ordering screen. Once you reach that, you need to make sure and add the product to your cart. It doesn't automatically add for you because you need to actually opt in to select it and pay for it. All right, there is also 2 bonus days, which I don't have any flyer on that, but with bonus days, you can earn a $5. Come on, my screen's just delayed a little bit. During the Stampin' Up's bonus days from now till February 2nd, 2026, you can earn a $5 coupon for every $50 order increment that you spend during that time period. And then you can redeem them in February from February 3rd to February 28th, 2026. Great time to be able to get some fun products, earn stuff, +2, get the product of the month, and then save on your order next month. Just watch your totals when you are shopping. Make sure that you're not missing out on those $50 thresholds. Hello, everybody. Lori and Wendy, Liz, Dawn, Paula, thanks for joining me. All right, so we are going to be playing with the Love Notes Designer Series paper. This is actually the focal paper for my craft along, which is going to be on Tuesday, January 27th at 2 o'clock Central Time. So I'm going to share with you the products or the projects that we're making, and then we will hop into the project we're making today. It is going to be featuring, the beauty of the projects is most of the work is done by the Designer Series paper. I love this 6x6 paper pack, and it has different panels. Most of them are panels. Some of them are just solid sheets of some printed patterns there. But what's really cool is basically when you do the craft along, you're going to take the Designer Series paper, and in the tutorial as well as the prepping guideline for those who have ordered the craft along kit, really you just need to cut out these panels, and then during the craft along I will tell you how we are going to use them. Some of them we will use as is, some of them we will cut down. If you would like the craft along kit, I do have a few spots left, and it will be making these 5 projects. We're going to make 4 cards during the craft along. It is a no stamping craft along, super easy, and we're going to make these really beautiful and simple 4 cards. This one you can either have as a card, but I have it designed as a little gift card holder, so it's got, a couple of different ways that you can use that. My favorite project though that I'm really excited to share with you is making this cute little mini album. And you can design it however you wish with the designer series paper, or use your own designer series paper. But it's got these cute little pages inside, and you can add a note or a picture, or in this case, a gift card, or all of the above. And so that will be our 3D project for that craft along on January 27th. Now, the craft along kit, it is $46 shipped to you, includes, I think it's about $22 in consumable supplies, and of course the postage with tracking to you. I think I have 4 or 5 spots left. The sign up is in the video description. It should be anyway in the video, just in this video description. Registration does close tomorrow, January 10th. So if you would like that project kit so you can craft along with me on the 27th, make sure you sign up for it by tomorrow night. And let's see. Oh, if you want just the PDF tutorial option, I will have that in my PDF store available for $12 sometime next week. Give me a little bit of time to finalize all the details on that tutorial, and then I will post it in my PDF store on my blog. All right, y'all ready for today's project? Like I said, we're going to use the designer series paper, and we're going to make a cute little treat box. Now, I designed this particular box to fit the Sweethearts. This is the one, the Sweethearts candy. Now, this is the original, and so the original brand. So if you are using a different company's Sweethearts or their little conversation hearts, this box may not work for you. You may have to adapt it a little bit. Worst case scenario, you could just put the little conversation hearts in a cello bag and then just stick it inside the box here. So there are a lot of different options there, or you could use another little treat. But so that's what we're going to have, is it fits this box perfectly. So you can use it with the Sweethearts or without. So I am going to share with you, here are the quick measurements for today's project. However, I do have a printable project sheet that is an exclusive perk when you're part of my email list. I will email this out to those on my email list tomorrow at 3 o'clock Central Time. So that way you don't have to worry about writing down measurements quickly today. You can just get that email tomorrow, have all the supplies, measurements, and pictures ready to go, and just print it out. If you would like to join my email list, easy to do. Just follow the link in the video description, and easy to sign up. Okay, so let's start off with the base of our box. Let's make our box. And to do that, we have here a piece of petal pink cardstock that measures 4 by 9 inches. And we're going to do some scoring. And so right here are my score measurements. So I'm going to put the long side, the 9-inch side, up at the top. And I'm trying not to cover too much. And you know what? I didn't finish the other score measurements, but that's okay because it's super easy. And it's in the project sheet too in tomorrow's email. All right, so we're going to score on the long side because this is really the most important part, is that 2.5, 3 1/4. We're going to move down here to 6 3/4, and then it's 7.5. Then you're going to put the short side at the top, really easy, just score at 3/4 of an inch. That's the measurement I forgot to add. Then you're going to rotate it all the way around, and again at 3/4 of an inch. Very, very simple. Now, before we get started and assembling the box, I want to do a couple things, and that is add my designer series paper. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take here at the top, I'm going to put a piece of the Love Notes designer series paper. It does measure 2 3/8 by 2 3/8, and that is actually going to go on the top, because when I actually fold my box and I have my lid, it's going to go this way. So it appears like it's at the top, but it's really going to be at the bottom when we're done with the box. Now, I do need to note, if you are using a pattern paper that has a certain direction to it, like these hearts, you do want to make sure that you have it oriented the correct way. So that's why I had my little arrow to remind me the orientation to go. And you might want to do that. Take a little light pencil mark and just mark it right there so you don't forget. Let's see. Wendy is asking, where did I get my candy for today's project? I bought it at my local grocery store or Target. I think Target has them. Usually the grocery stores have them. Walmart, I believe, would have them. It's just the basic sweethearts, the little boxes. They're like probably less than $1. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to glue this right here at this large top panel. And I'm going to hold off on this panel right here. And I'm going to tell you, I'm switching it up just a little bit today. And so I'm going to hold off on that. But otherwise, if you want, you would put the other panel right there. And for this project, I used in the background, I used this striped print for a border print. And that measurement was 1 3/8 by 2 3/8. But I'm going to simplify it just a tiny bit. All right, so what we're going to do is along the edge, we are going to cut our tabs. So I'm going to cut up the score lines and I'm going to miter. And then we're going to rotate. Now, if y'all can't find the candy, I was mentioning that what you could do is you could just buy a bag of conversation hearts, put them in a cello bag, and then you could just stick it inside your finished box. That's another workaround. Okay. All right, so now let's go ahead. I'm going to burnish each of the score lines. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put, let me kind of position it first before we actually glue it. So we're going to take the side, the end that has the designer series paper. We're going to take those bottom tabs and we're going to actually take the long tabs or the long sides and we're going to glue our tabs to these long sides. We're going to leave this part alone for just right for a moment. We will come back to it in a minute, but I actually want it to go on top, not underneath. So we're going to take the tab, glue it to the long sections. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to glue the sides that has on the section that has the designer series paper. I am going to take that and just add some glue. Now you can use tear and tape if that's your preference. I'm just going to use multi-purpose liquid glue. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to glue those sides down. Reach in here. You want to make sure that's well adhered. All right, so I'm going to leave the top alone. And in the tutorial, I show you not to glue the lid just yet. Let's hold off on doing that because I need space right now to be able to make an angle cut. So what we're going to do is I'm going to come here at the top right before the lid and I'm going to fold it back and I'm going to take it, that corner, and I'm just going to go corner to corner diagonally and just cut a little section out. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. I'm going to go here where it meets that lid and I'm going to cut it a diagonal. And so now we have this angle on each side. And then what I want to do now is I'm going to put my candies in here. And like I said, it is like a perfect fit, okay? It's pretty snug. And then what we're going to do now is I can, well, just for the moment, let's take the candy out so I can work and put my box together. So now we can go on ahead and glue the tabs for the lid. Okay, now I am ready to stick the candy in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my lid over the top. And now what I'm gonna do is I wanna take, now this is where I'm deviating from the instructions just a little bit, but there's a lot of flexibility because I wanna give you different ways to use all those elements that are in that paper pack of the Love Notes Designer Series paper. So like I said, for my sample, I use the striped Designer Series paper print that measures 1 3/8 by 2 3/8. I'm gonna mix this up because I want to use a different pattern and it's a little bit larger. So this is one of the panels from the paper pack that says "You're amazing," but it's a little too big. So I'm going to cut it down. Bring in my paper trimmer and I'm going to cut it down to what did I say? I'm going to cut it down to 1 1/4 by 2 1/2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure. This is actually 1 1/2, and I said I wanted it 1 1/4. So taking off a little bit on each side, that is going to be 1/8 of an inch off each side. So I'm going to take an inch, 1/8 off one side. I'm going to rotate it. Let's take another 1/8 off the other side. Then I need it to be 2 1/2 long. Well, I know that it's 3 inches, so I need to take 1/2 of an inch off. So that'll be 1/4 inch off each end. Do a little bit of math. Okay, so now that I have that, actually I am going to hold off on that because what I need to do next is I'm going to take, this is the Petal Pink Braided Trim. I've been using this quite a bit in a lot of projects because you get so much bang for your buck. It is a product that's on the last chance list. It's half off right now, and so it is a great buy and you will get so much use out of it. But what I like to do with it is I will take and I'll just pull some strands, individual strands. I'm going to do 2 of them. And I am going to take, and I'm going to wrap. Make sure your candies are inside before you do this. Otherwise, it's a bit of a challenge. It's all about presentation. So let's go on ahead. We're going to take, and I'm going to tie this off with a bow. Let's see, let's go ahead. Let's trim off. I don't need that much. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my bow up kind of out of the way. I am going to take, now I can either use dimensionals or I can glue it flat because it is pretty thin, but I'm going to pop it up with dimensionals so it straddles that twine. So I'm going to add a little bit on each end here. And I'm just going to have it go basically edge to edge. And I'm going to let the Petal Pink cardstock be my border instead of the Designer Series paper. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, now from the, where did it go? Where did it go? Here it is. As part of the Endless Love bundle, there is a set of dies, and that's really what I'm focusing on are these heart dies. You can pull out any good heart set that you have, but I like that there's different options here. You've got an open heart and you've got closed hearts. You've got some really large and accent hearts. So and you got different options for your arrows. You got small arrows and long arrows. So what I did ahead of time is you're going to want to take some real red cardstock and you're going to die cut out a heart. That was using this size right here. And I did that in real red cardstock. Then what I did is I took and I did the long arrow in silver foil. I think gold would look really pretty as well. And then I used the X and O and I die cut out a couple of those letters, an X and an O. So what we're going to do is let's go on ahead. We're going to glue the X and the O on. And I'm going to pull my sample back in. I'm going to have them just offset just a little bit. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of glue and I'm just gonna go along the shaft here of the arrow, put a little bit of glue in the middle there, and then I'm gonna stick this on top. And I just wanna make sure I have a little bit of my arrow showing on each end. Then we're gonna pop this up with dimensionals. Now I do want to straddle my twine, so I am going to put just here on the side so that my twine can run, my braided trim can run right down the middle there. And we're just going to position it right there onto our box. And there you go, guys. That is the project for today. Now, as I was telling you earlier, I want you to be able to use different parts of your designer series paper. So in this case, I used a little bit different patterns. Although I kept this pattern the same, the top changed a little bit. I also did a version in the purple using like the Highland Heather for my card base. And then this was Fresh Freesia, and that was again Highland Heather, and then I just used some bubble bath ribbon to be able to finish this off. So lots of different options for that. Like I said, this is using some of that designer series paper that's going to be part of our craft along on January 27th. I do have like I said, I have a few spots left. I would love for you to join me for this craft along. If you want the pre-cut kit, or I should say the project kit, you will need to do a little bit of prep work. Then registration does close tomorrow, January 10th at midnight. So I am looking forward to you crafting along with me. If you do have any questions about the craft along or anything that the supplies that I use in today's project, you can find a list of the supplies in the video description, as well as the shopping link to purchase them. And if you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button so that you can watch each weekly project. And if you're not part of my email list, easy to subscribe. Just click that link in my video description. That way you will get the free project sheet in tomorrow's email. All right, guys, thank you so much, my sweet friends, for crafting with me today. Let me know if you make one of these. I would love for you to send me a picture of it. All right, we'll see you next Friday. Bye, guys.